it's Danielle, and today I wanted to do a fun, sort of informative video, a girl talk, talking to you guys about what it means to be a fake friend or things to look for to spot ingenuine friends now that it's spring break time / summer's approaching / we always should be evaluating our friendships. So let's get started. I wrote down 6 things that I feel like are red flags to look for in friendships, and if you guys agree with any of these, leave a comment down below. Tell me your experience with your friendships, tell me what you've been through, because this is an open space for all of us to contribute and discuss whatever topic is at hand. So the first thing that I put down that I want to go through with you guys is if you always compliment them and they never compliment you. Let me unpack this. Sometimes you'll find yourself being that friend that is always uplifting other people, always giving your friends their flowers, always telling people when they've done something well. Whether that is a mental compliment, maybe they're really smart and they had an accomplishment, or maybe it's a physical compliment like, oh, I think you're so pretty, or you look so nice in that dress. If you find yourself being the main person that's always dishing out compliments, but the people that you surround yourself never give you your flowers, then it's time to reevaluate that friendship. So suppose you're in a group chat and you say, oh, you know, congratulations on this, and then when it's your turn, you're not getting congratulations. Those are things to look out for. Or if you're going out with your girls and you're always telling them how beautiful they are and raising their self-esteem, but that day you put on that bomb dress and everyone outside that you go see is complimenting you, but then your friends don't even compliment you. That's something to look out for. Friends that you compliment and give flowers to, but they never give you your flowers, that is a red flag to look out for. The second thing I put on the list is too much of, oh, you got a good man. This one is for my girlies in relationships that are still maintaining their female friendships. I'm not saying this is every single time, but it's one thing for a friend to compliment the relationship and say, oh, mom and dad, you guys are so cute. I'll do that to my friends just to be celebratory of the fact that she found love. But if it's now turned into, ooh, do he have any brothers? I want a man like that. Or reverse for men, right? If it's always, oh, you got a good girl, keep her. Like, what are you really trying to say? Now, of course, the context means everything, the tone means everything, but you should be able to differentiate. If it's giving a little bit of, you would take this person if you could, then that's something to look out for. I've noticed that sometimes in my friendships, female friendships, I would tend to overshare when it comes to men, and not once, not twice, but several times I've been in situations where I've told my female friends about the nice things that a guy has done for me, whether he's my boyfriend or whether I'm talking to him, and then in the blink of an eye, the first opportunity they get, now they're sleeping with him or they're doing something with him. Just be careful how much you're sharing with your friends about your romantic involvements, especially if it's not giving genuine friendship vibes because of the way that they're carrying it or the way that they're listening. The next thing that I put on the list is calling you to only gossip or offload their drama. Now, I sometimes am that friend that always has an update in her life, always has a new little twist or turn or plot twist that's happened, but you have to be careful not to just use your friends as a diary. You have to be careful not to be that friend that is only calling on your friends to gossip about other people, for one, or for two, to share your personal business to the point where you're just ranting and that's it. I know that sometimes I have a lot to share and I say a lot, so So when it comes to my friends, I always try to start the conversation honestly with the how are you? Because I never wanted to give, okay, whenever Danny calls, she's just got an update in her life that I really don't care about. It's gonna cause your friends to over time resent you and think that you have main character syndrome, and you don't want to be perceived as that type of person. I'm just being honest with you. The next thing is only inviting you to very specific events but never the other events. Now this one is a little bit tricky because oftentimes friendships can start being going out friends, especially if you're a young girl and you go out in a busy city or whatever the case might be. Some of your friendships might start off as, okay, I'm gonna call you to go out, or we're gonna go to the club together, or we're gonna go do this, or we're gonna go do that. That's fine, right? But be wary of the friends that literally only call you to go to the club, but you see them going out with their other friends to the brunches, to the thrifting, to all the other types of events. Now there are some girls where they only go out. So if they're inviting you to go out, that's because the rest of the time they're in the house. That's a different story. There are some friendships that are just now budding, so maybe you're only going out together. That's okay too. Or maybe you are the type of person that has going out friends. Now I'm not saying that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but the whole concept of going out friends throws me off, because if I have friends that I'm only gonna pick up the phone to call to go out, and I wouldn't hang out with them or invite them to a housewarming or bring them in any other setting, then why do I trust them with me at my most vulnerable or potentially inebriated state? It doesn't make sense. People that operate with going out friends are only inviting those girls out because they're using them as handbags or accessories. And to be honest, that's not really cool. Even if you feel like you do it back to them, it's a superficial friendship, which means it's ingenuine. So let's just put that on the table right now. To be completely transparent with you guys, you shouldn't have going out friends only, because if you don't think of them or rate them high enough to bring them into the other aspects of your life, why are you trusting them with you at your most vulnerable or, like I said, potentially inebriated state? Just think about that. The next thing that I wanted to go into was if you tell them something and you always hear it somewhere else. This one should be self-explanatory, but oftentimes if we are a main character or we get caught up in our own stuff, we don't notice the signs of this. If you have that friend where, on the contrary, not every time you call them you're gossiping or sharing about yourself, but maybe every time they call you, they're picking and prodding on the gossip in your life. So say for instance, you have drama with someone. I recently was beefing with a girl that was in one of my core friendship groups, and it caused a whole sort of split of certain things. Not really a split, to be honest, but she was trying to have people pick sides, and it was weird. And I noticed, like, some people would call me and the first thing that they would say is like, how are things going with the blank situation? Now I understand checking up on me, right, on the one hand. But on the other hand, why are you calling me merely to get checkups on the drama? What about how are you doing? What about where's your emotional state? Were you calling me this much when I was facing tragedy and loss? Were you calling me this much when I really needed someone to check in on my personal health, my mental health, my emotional health? No. But you're gonna be the first one to call me and check in and say, oh, how's the XYZ going? That's weird. So be wary of the friends that are calling you to dig or be nosy about things that you're not necessarily volunteering or even eager to speak on. And then be wary if that information travels to other people. And then the last thing I wanted to say, number 6, guys, is if they constantly try to change things about you. Now, there's a difference between having a friendship group that is elevating everyone to grow and pushing everyone to be their most successful self, or be their most dynamic self, or the best version of themselves, reach their dream life, things of that nature. And there's another situation where you have friends that literally want to change who you are. Maybe you don't like to go out, maybe you're a little bit more of an introvert, maybe you like to dress a certain way, maybe whatever the case might be. And you have a friend where it's always like, okay, why don't you ever get a sew-in? Like for me, you guys know I'm a braid girly, right? I'll throw a sew-in, I'll do a wig every once in a while. But say I had a friend and every time they see me, why don't you get a wig? Put this wig on. Let me do your makeup. Put this wig on, let me do your makeup. Wear this. Now let's go out. It's a difference between saying, hey Danny, maybe you could do your eyebrows a little better, and saying, let me paint your face every time we go out, even though I know you don't do makeup, because that's how I want you to present when you're with me. I want to mold you into what I want you to be, not who you truly are. This can be physically, this can be emotionally. Maybe you are a little bit more of a words of affirmation friend. Maybe you need reassurance in certain ways. And you're now hanging out with people where they say, look, girl, you need to get over that. Just come on, you know, or they're always sort of pushing off the things that you're expressing. Be wary of that. Suppose you have boundaries and you're putting those boundaries in place. Perhaps it's, okay, please don't FaceTime me after 11 p.m. I'm gonna wake up from my sleep and feel obligated to answer. And every single day they're calling you at 11 p.m. saying, girl, you need to get out of that habit. That's a problem. You don't want to associate yourself with people that are constantly making you fold or trying to change your boundaries, especially when those boundaries are not negatively affecting anyone. They're just your personal boundaries. If any of these 6 tips, guys, resonated with you guys, or if you've experienced any of the 6 things that I just talked about, I want you to please leave a comment. I want to have a discussion about this. If you guys like the little background setup, I'm switching it up a little bit. Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't joined the family. I make videos multiple times a week, and I'm constantly coming on here sharing new things with you guys, giving you literally everything I have. So definitely join the family. And if you guys have any questions, have any comments, whatever the case might be, leave them down below and I will get back to all of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.